much for your kind introduction, Akila. I have two things to say since a lot has been said already. I want to emphasize that the persecution of the Rohingya, my people, has not ended today, and we cannot afford any more complacency from the international actors or the regional governing bodies. ASEAN very specifically needs to cut ties with the Tatmadaw immediately and ensure safety to those who have sought refuge in the region. I hope that the world leaders and the nation states can stop playing games around our survival, our livelihood, as well as ensuring that the perpetrators don't get away with the crimes inflicted upon us. The Rome Statute was ratified to ensure the prevention of genocide, and it is past that point for us. So to all the world leaders and those who are involved in the work for Myanmar and Rohingya, please, you do not have any more excuses to stall the process or to stall the justice and accountability process. Our lives depend on it. The persecution of the crimes committed against Rohingya people will need to extend beyond the international realm. And this is directed at the national unity government in all its limitations, simply cannot push the burden to be solely a responsibility of the international community. We cannot act on the amnesia of the previous Myanmar civilian administration. Unfortunately, before the coup, many of the leadership within Myanmar were either silent or involved in contributing to further the harms and racist rhetoric toward Rohingya. Though there have been few recognitions and statements made by the NUG leadership, currently it is undeniable that we need a lot more, especially with the statement made today by the NUG on the 4th anniversary of the Rohingya Genocide commemoration. The NUG still minces its words and shy away from using the proper term to describe what happened to us, a genocide. One word that can truly humanize so much of our lived experience. If federal democracy and ridding Myanmar of the Tatmadaw's power is truly the end goal, there needs to be a clear plan to abolish the current structures that feed off exploitations of the people living in poverty, ethnic communities, women, and many more. Institutional oppression has its roots in exploitation and neoliberal process of dispossession and dispossession for accumulation. The NUG has the responsibility to shift away from all these tendencies and create a clear-cut accountability measures, including the Truth and Reconciliation Commissions, reformation of the judicial and criminal justice system that takes into account the culture of impunity, disenfranchisement of ethnic communities, and racialization of everyone outside the dominant group. National dialogue and proper education to correct the misconception about Rohingya and other ethnic communities. And finally, reparations to ensure that all affected communities from decades of neglect and complicity of Myanmar state and the Tatmadaw who perpetrated genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity are not only held accountable under Myanmar domestic judicial process, but that survivors, especially those who've suffered sexual and gender-based violence, are also compensated for the pain that they've had to endure. This is how we move forward as a country. This is how we achieve federal democracy, only by way of critically analyzing who have been hurt by the current system and who stands to gain from the ideology that is exploitative. Once that is done, we fix them at the root causes. I'd like to thank everyone from Myanmar who've expressed solidarity and sincere apologies about our genocide. But I hope that we would go a little bit further in doing our absolute best to ensure that we never end up here again, that there would never be a need for us to utter any apology toward one another. We have a real chance to right the wrongs in this spring revolution. So let us rebuild the country together to be a better, kinder, more compassionate, and fairer Myanmar, where no one would ever be persecuted for being who they are. Thank you very much for your attention.